start. Tonight is our Slimline class. So we will be doing this class right here. So pull out your class kit. I'm still waiting for my mom. What you doing there, Mom?
I'm sending a message. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now? Okay. All right. Yep, she can hear now.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, so we're going to start class. Like I said, pull this one out. And we're going to go right down to the table. Now, this is our first class in a while, so we're getting back into the swing of things. I did forget to put our little class insert in to tell you where we are. So hopefully everybody found us. But the one thing that I did do is on our event calendar on our website, I am putting the link there, the dates and times of classes, along with the link to order the class kit, which we're sold out of this one. And also the link to where I am, whether it be here on our class page or whether it is on the one of a kind page or the volume page or wherever I'm at. If you are unsure and you can't figure out how to find me, go to the event calendar on our website and then it'll have a link to where I am. So you can always find me that way too. Right now I only have our 2 February events, but I'm going to get, more dates set. So the class dates are at least set, even if I don't have the exact cards or anything. I'll just have the dates set so you'll know ahead of time. Anyways, we are still working on our new camera. So Mom is gonna put it so we're looking down at the table.
Okay.
Or she already did that. Actually, it was combo view. So
I had you combo.
okay, we were combo view. Now we're down at the. Oh, we're down at the table. I don't know if you're seeing me or not. But anyways, so these are the 5 cards we're making. And again, it was your class kit that looks like this. If I'm ever upside down, because I'm used to doing it like this, make sure to tell me, turn it around, Sarah. So these 5 cards, why don't we pull out a kind of very easy one first. Let's pull out the For You kit. So the purple one. And again, if you are ever missing anything, just let us know. Preferably by email. I mean, you can comment when I'm doing live right here. But if you're watching this afterwards, don't put it on the thread because I won't see it. You'll need to email me or message me. If you're ever missing anything, just let us know and we'll get that out to you. So anyways, we're starting with the purple card. So that one will look like this. This one is mostly an assembly card, and I'm going to do everything with you. So you're going to pull that out. And now you're going to notice that and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the papers that we're using. This one is an embossed metallic, so you'll see it has a little bit of a sheen to it. This one's called Recio. There are different ones. Well, actually, right now, we only really have the Recio and the Wave, and I think the Laser. But we do have, and I did just put this on our website today, this variety pack that has the Astro Silvers. Now it's got the reptile in it that we're using, so that's a discontinued stock, but we do have some left. We're using it on one of the cards tonight, and it's on the sale page. And then the Spring is also in here, which is a smaller little swirly, and then the Laser with the lines and the Wave and the Recio. So that's on the embossed metallic bulk section. Otherwise, there is another one on our specials besides the Recio, or the reptile, that has the Recio, the reptile, and the Laser, and that's on the specials page too. So, but you guys can start with assembly, and then I am going to talk a little bit more about these embossed metallics. So for the assembly, let's just start with a text insert. Text inserts trick, or how I attach my text insert, is I always take my adhesive, and this is your score going down the middle of the card, and I always put tape on both sides of the score. If I have a narrow tape gun, I'll do it on both sides. If I have my 1/2-inch tape gun, which is what I'm using, I'll go right down the middle. So, and you also don't want to go all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom, because the text insert is a little bit off the top and the bottom. So I always put tape right down the middle or just on both sides of the score. Some people will do tape all the way around, and you'll tend to get buckling in this middle section. So I like to just put tape on the score or a little bit on both sides of the score. Then I hold that at like a 90-degree angle. I take my folded text insert and I just kind of set the fold right into the score. So, and if you've taken class with me before, you've seen this before, but I always do repeat it. So we're just going to set that fold right into the score, and then we fold it. And then it attaches to both the front and the back. So it's loose, and it's just attached right in the middle, but then you don't get that buckling, okay? If you put tape all the way around, you tend to get buckling right here. So that's how I like to attach my text inserts. So you have your folded card. We're going to attach the Recio to it, and then when I attached this piece, I used foam tape. So you can see that it's popped up with foam tape a little bit. Okay, so I did use foam tape around the back of here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you guys can do that. And then when you're putzing, I'm just going to show you something with the embossed stocks. So all of the embossed stocks come in like a white. They're not a stark white like some of our whites. They're kind of more of an eggshelly type white. So the website, the pictures, they're a little darker just because if I make them real bright white, you can't see the texture in them. So the color isn't great when you look at the images on the website. They look really off-white. They're not that far off-white. So now I did use foam tape on the back of here. If you've taken my classes, you've seen this before. I just take my foam tape, I pre-cut it, and then I put it on one of my ribbon spools. It's just really handy when you're using foam tape not to have to worry about cutting it all the time. So I know when you take Stamplistics class, Jennifer wants you to be super generous with the foam tape. So you do you. Whatever amount of foam tape you want to use, that's what you can use. When you're in class, I always tell you, when you come to a class of mine, I tell you not to connect the dots with the foam tape. Because A, we cut it all, and we pay for it and all that. But so you are using your own foam tape. You put as much or as little foam tape on as you want. Now I did put probably more foam tape on that I would normally put on. Why? I don't know. So we're just going to put foam tape on. So right now, if you're in Wisconsin, you might be getting hammered with snow. We've been getting hammered with snow all day, and Ron actually called me and he's like, "Are you still doing your class?" I'm like, "Ron, it's virtual." "Yes, I'm doing my class." He's like, "Well, everything else is canceled." I'm like, "Well, I'm still doing my class. So we're here at work." And so we're hoping to get home tonight. But I told him he might have to come and rescue me. So anyways, we're attaching this. Now there is a slight border. If we turn it over and look at it, sometimes I'll do that where I'll lay it down just so I can see how much border I have before I actually attach it. So then I'm just going to attach that. And it does just have a slight border. Now you're going to pull the pieces out that are in here. Now possibly you weeded them. I did not. Oh, mine are weeded. What do you know? So anyways, when you're attaching your flowers together, you can use foam tape to build them up. I did use foam tape to this first one. And then I think I used foam tape on a lot of my layers, not all of them. So it's up to you whether you're mailing it or not, whether you want to put foam tape on it, because the post office will charge you extra if it's over I believe, 1/4 of an inch. So anyways, so you're just going to start building your flowers, or building your flower. Now you can take and, you know, bend it up a little if you're giving it out or you're just having it sit pretty. You can bend your flower petals up if you want to. That's up to you. Now when I did attach these I just used a dot roller or the micro dot adhesive. I did not pop up this piece on there. I just attached that flat. Now one thing too, if this card is going to be handled a lot, it wouldn't hurt to put a circle of acetate behind there just so your words kind of stayed very nice. So that's up to you. That's just a trick to kind of keep your words nice and flat. So here, let me continue. I'm not going to use all the foam tape. And I know you can use styluses and all kinds of tools to bend up your flowers, so go ahead and do that if you're a flower person and you want to bend your flowers probably the more proper way. Go ahead and get your stylus out and bend your flowers. I'm more of a go for it kind of gal, which most of you know that about me. Oh, and the little pearl for this one is one of the pearls that is in the bunny card. So you might just have to set this one aside. And it's not a huge pearl like that because I didn't have a bunch of huge pearls. So it is a smaller pearl. If you want a bigger pearl or you want a different color on there, you just do whatever you want because it's your card. Now our greenery, you can put a little glue or adhesive on the back of there and attach that. I should have probably done that first, but that's okay. So not everybody has the exact same greenery. It's all done out of the Mojito. That wasn't very smart, Sarah. And sometimes on my work surface, I will put a Post-it note down and I'll do my little taping on there. I don't know where my, oh, here's my Post-it notes. I always keep Post-it notes handy because they're really good for, you know, so your work surface doesn't get all dirty. So anyways, you're just going to use either a dot roller or I have my micro dot adhesive sheet here. I finally found it. And I'm just going to peel the backing off, set that down. Then I'm going to peel that off, and the micro dots are then stuck to the back of it. And then I can just attach that. So again, the micro dot adhesive, you just kind of pick up the liner, put your thing down. Now it does last really long time, so you can go, there's a ton of billions of little dots on there that you can use. Okay, whoops, this one I didn't line up very good. You kind of do have to line that up with the scallops. So the window overlay that was on here, that's our triple scallop circle slimline overlay, and I pre-stamped that for you. So anyways, now while you gals are finishing up, we have our embossed metallic, and I just want to show you something that you can do with it. And normally I have some paper towel out here. Do you want to run and get me a piece of paper towel? Okay, so if you want it colored, now all of the embossed metallics are the white or this off-white, okay? They're fairly white, they're just not a stark white if you put it next to, you know, a really bright white. And people always say, well, what about colors? Do you have it in colored? Well, they don't make it in colored, it just comes in the white. So, but you can take an ink pad and you can use a dye-based ink pad, a pigment ink pad, a chalk ink pad to color it. I'm kind of waiting for my mom because I usually just wipe it off with paper towel right after, but I'll just go ahead. So you just kind of take your ink pad and drag it across, and that's how you can make it colored. So you don't want to go like straight down like this, because you'll usually, if you have a juicy ink pad, you'll get a blobby blob. No, you're not doing this, I'm just kind of showing you. But you do want to take the edge of your ink pad and just kind of drag that across. The blue is really pretty if you're using the wave. So, and then I do usually just wipe it off a little bit just to dry it. So anyways, that's how you can get your embossed metallics inked. So, but like I said, if you have a really juicy ink pad, don't go straight down. Especially the chalk pads, they tend to, if you go straight down, they like stick. So you want to just use the very edge of your ink pad and drag that across if you want to color your embossed metallics. So just a little fun little tip of what you can do with the embossed metallics. So we're going to move on to one of our other cards. So we're just going to set that one aside. Good job, everyone. Let's go on to our, well, let's just get inky right away. Let's go on to our alcohol ink card, which is this one. And that's our actual card. Now, if you open your kit up, you're going to have an extra piece in there. So if you already were like busting into your kit, or just making sure you had everything, you might have noticed that you have an extra piece. So we have our scored card. We have a piece of UPO, okay? And this is not metallic, so you'll have two bigger pieces of cardstock. One will be the ice silver metallic, and you can see it's really white. The UPO is a little bit smaller, so make sure you're using the correct layer, okay? The white one goes down first and then the UPO, but not until we alcohol ink it. Then you also have your white die cut squares. You have some pieces of cardstock. Now this is for backing your birthday squares. Now I did the other day say that you could do your homework and you could color these, and you could fussy cut them out. Now I did leave some white space, and then depending on which color you colored them and also what color you're using for your alcohol ink, that's going to determine which ones you used. I just gave you extra ones because one set of alcohol inks that we had was these three colors. The other set was these three colors. And who knows what you have. So it doesn't really matter. I just gave you some extra pieces there. Then you have your happy birthday, which you should have pre-colored. You have two celebrates. Now you have a bunch of strips. So let's look at our strips really quick, just so you use the right ones together, because you have two of the mirror card ones. Okay, the thinner one gets stacked. So you're gonna, on your white strip, your green strip goes there, and then your thinner one. You can either attach it right now while I'm talking, or you can just set that aside. I just want to make sure that you use that smaller strip as your layer, and the bigger strip goes right there for your celebrate. Now, your extra piece of cardstock, you should have an extra piece that looks like this. This is an extra piece of UPO. So this is for you to practice on, just so you can decide which, what you want your background to look like. So I gave you an extra kind of practice piece, especially if you've never used alcohol inks before. That's what this extra piece is for. So you need an applicator, which I did forget to say this in my video. It was in the instructions. And a lot of you, if you did alcohol inks with me like last summer, you'll have the applicator. It's just a wood block with a piece of Velcro on it, and then it's felt. Or there's the other ones that have the handles on them. But this is just basic craft felt. And then you need your alcohol inks, depending on which ones that you want. My mom's back there yawning. I've had her here all day. I made her drive in with me because I knew it was going to be really snowy tonight. And so, yeah, so we've been here since like 8 o'clock this morning. So it's a very long day. I told her she's probably going to sleep really good tonight. So anyways, whatever inks you want to use. Now, when I'm doing my inking, I usually like to get a base of color down first, and we can play a little bit, and you can play on both sides. But I like to, like, some people squirt right on there, some people use blending solution. I don't use a whole lot of blending solution, but I like to squirt bigger drops on my felt pad in my 3 colors, and if you just want to use 2 colors, that's fine. And again, that's why I gave you the little one, so you can play with that to kind of see what you like. So now, you can do a number of different things. Yep, you can tappy tap and turn it as you tap. You can swoosh. So now you see the Yupo, how that's, the ink kind of stays on top of the Yupo. So I like to get some base color down first. And so you can swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. You could swooshy swoosh like that. Really, there's no right or wrong, except turning it over when it's wet. That doesn't kind of work out so good. And if you don't like it, you can always like take blending solution and wipe it off and start over again. But anyways, once I get my base color down, then as you tap, you'll start to see this little bubbly effect. Not sure if you can see that.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so as it's juicier, those bubbles will disperse out. As it gets drier, or the lighter you tap, you'll start to retain some of those little bit more distinct bubbles. So, and if I wanted to go around the whole outside in one color, like I could have done blue and green on the background and then pull in purple, you know, starting with another piece of felt pad just to do my little things, my little dots. So anyways, you can do whatever you want. This was your practice piece. Now, you can squirt right on the paper, and it'll kind of reactivate the ink that's underneath it. You can see how you have your color just kind of dispersed underneath that. So the Yupo is a synthetic paper, and you can still be playing, or you can move on to your big sheet, whatever you want to do. The Yupo is a synthetic paper, so the inks don't soak into it. They stay on top. And that's what allows the inks to react together and you to layer color together. So that's the difference between the Yupo and like just a glossy cardstock. If you have a glossy cardstock, those inks soak in, and then you can't get those secondary effects. Or if you did this on glossy, you would still see your purple and blue behind that green because it has nowhere to go. It's already in the fibers of the paper. Where this is more like a plastic, so it doesn't actually go into the paper. It stays on top of it. But the one thing with the Yupo is it doesn't work really well for regular stamping because your inks don't dry on it. Okay, your regular dye-based inks will almost never dry on it. The Stays-On will dry on it, but then you can't color with your Copics because then it'll bleed into the outline. So, and also it's very touchy with embossing because it's a plastic. It'll go if you heat it too much. So anyways, this is your little piece to play with, and whenever you're ready, you can just set that aside, use it for a different project, and you can kind of just move on to your bigger piece and do whatever you want. You guys must be working hard because
They're really quiet.
you're really quiet, no questions.
Yeah. Oh, but Ronald Lee says she uses a large cork from sparkling wine with Velcro on it to hold the felt for applications.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice, nice. Another nice reason to drink some wine.
Yeah. So I'm going to do the blue. I was going to bring up my sunshine yellow, but I forgot. So I think I used a little bit of sunshine yellow right here. And I have my honeycomb up here instead of my sunshine. So let me see. Let me see what my honeycomb does. If I don't like it, hey, I can always like turn it over on the back, or I can wipe it off, except I don't have my blending solution up here. So it is what it is. And I do like, ooh, that's pretty. I do like to swoosh to put my base color down. And I also like to keep a toothpick in my stamping area so then I can hold onto my paper. But I forgot that right now. So this will start, if I keep going over this, it'll start getting streakier. And it's just what you want out of your project. Now I am going to touch into the edges with the purple, which is what I was talking about before. So I'm going to put a little bit of purple on there, not a whole lot. And it's almost darn near impossible to get projects to look exactly the same, just because of the nature of the alcohol inks. So now this is just a background. I might need a little bit more purple on there.
You're a great instructor, Sarah, says Kathleen Moore.
Oh, thank you, Kathleen.
And your cards are always so beautiful. Amber.
Thank you. Actually, I think I want a little bit more yellow on there. Actually, I don't mind that yellow. So you can just play to your heart's content with until you get the look that you want. And it is just a background, so you are going to cover a lot of that up. So yep. Now yellow on purple kind of makes a little bit of brown, so I don't know that I like that. So anyways, okay. Oh, no. I need to add a little blue, a little more blue. So when you are done, if you haven't done your squares yet, go ahead and build those up. Now I did attach my squares onto my colored square as flat, but then I did pop up before I put it on the white. So go ahead and, if you're done alcohol inking, you just go ahead and do that.
What colors did you use? Nancy Cloud is asking.
Oh. Now this time, I mean, I've done a lot of colors on here. So I think I started out with the stream and the limeade and honeycomb, and then I added some purple, and then I didn't like that, and then I did like, and then but I decided to add some yellow to it. Didn't like that so much, so now I added some mermaid on top of it.
So does the felt need to be wool felt, Sarah?
No, just cheap craft felt. I don't know what the cheap craft felt is made out of, but just the cheap craft felt.
Okay.
So
and
now
do we wait for each layer to dry before adding another color?
it's up to you. If it's still wet, they'll bleed together more. If it's dry and this ink is drier, then it will you'll get more of the little dots. So now I do want some more purple on here. I should have just left it alone the first time. But sometimes when you play a little bit too much, yeah, I went past what I liked. Sometimes less is best. So yeah, I'm not even sure that I like this. I liked it with the yellow in it. So, but I'm going to stop. Actually, I'm going to turn it over. So there, because I don't have my blending solution. So you get another just in case you missed the first time, there I used Stream, limeade on the edge, and then honeycomb down the middle. So yeah, sometimes if you like it, just stop. And these are really my colors that I really like.
Stop.
So, I am going to put a little bit of purple around the edges, and then I'm going to call her a day.
Aw, Barb Trudeau says she loves you, Sarah. You are the best instructor and the best kits. Always get lots of compliments on your cards from people that I mail the cards to. Thanks for your time and patience.
Thanks, Barb. One thing that I didn't do in this kit this time was I did not put my little place card in there. I was kind of out of practice on my place card. But with the next kit, I do have my place card in there. So I try to be organized. The more organized I am, hopefully the better experience you all have. So that was amethyst. Oh no, that was purple twilight. I think the amethyst is a little bit darker purple. Trying to get the little bubblies around there. So if you're like way ahead of me, sometimes I go too fast. Well, this time I'm definitely not going too fast. But if you're way ahead of me, you can also do your celebrate. So your celebrate, there's two layers or two celebrates. They're just going to pile on top of each other. So just a background, Sarah. Stop.
So what happens when you have to work with your mother all day sewing.
Yeah, we were sewing masks today. So anyways, okay, so we're stopping there. Just stop. So now I've got a really messy work surface. Actually, Post-it notes come in handy to cover up your mess too. So now we have our card, our blue raspberry card. We have our ice silver layer. We're going to attach that. Sometimes, so I don't have to fight the fold of the card, I will lay it flat. Now I'm going to attach my Yupo layer. Now make sure it is dry before you turn it over. Okay. And yeah, doing so many colors, it turned really dark green. Which dark green is pretty, especially for like, Christmas.
How long does it take to dry, Sarah?
It dries fairly quick because it's alcohol. Now, one thing I should have done before I did that is these are actually cut to size. But usually if you have little strips like this, you want to make sure they're cut to size or cut them before whatever layer you want them to match. But we actually cut them to size for you. Sometimes on the strips, our machines don't always cut. It's hard to get the little strips. Oh, this one's the too big one. So we don't always cut to size on the strips. Sometimes I make you cut your own strips. Have to make you do a little bit of work there. So anyways, attach your strips. Maybe put, this one down on the bottom just for reference. This one I have about an inch from the top, approximately. Oops. So this one goes edge to edge on the U-bow. And then our Absinthe Miri Sparkle. And then our really thin piece of purple mirror card.
Sarah, do we have more of these kits available?
I am out of this kit. I have the one kit that I'm working with tonight that that I'm taking pieces out of, that I could probably put another one together. So possibly I can do one more, but I'm using like the last one that we have in house. So then we have our purple mirror card down at the bottom. Oops, and this one I have pretty close to the bottom, but you can always space things however you want to space them. Okay, so now our Celebrate, pop your Celebrates out, which you might have already weeded yours ahead of time, and I'm just weeding mine now. This is one of our dies. It comes with another die that says Happy For You, I think. Now my pin. Now I do like to put them together.
I'll be right back.
Yep. I do like to put them together, the two words together, before actually putting them down onto my project. So I'm going to use my micro dot adhesive sheets, which these we have on our accessory page. My mom stepped away for just a minute, so if you are asking a question, she might not see it for a minute. But I'm usually a little bit behind you anyway, or I'm usually a little bit ahead of what you're seeing. So I have my adhesive dots on the back. I usually just hold this in my hands. Make sure your hands are kind of clean. Mine aren't, so I'm trying to be very careful not to get ink all over my Celebrate. So that's how I just usually stack my words. I kind of hold it in my hand and just kind of push, to get my letters lined up together. Now I'm going to put more adhesive on that and then put it on my card. The white really pops off of the purple mirror card and our alcohol ink. So again, yeah, this is our micro dot adhesive sheet. And we're just going to attach that right onto there, as centered as possible. And then I didn't color my words, or I didn't color my squares, but when I did cut my squares, pretend these are colored, I did just leave some white space around. So I left some white space around each one. And I'm pretty sure I can color mine after it's assembled, so I'll do that later. The stamps are from Impression Obsession. It's a big clear set that has all of these think there's one other square on there, plus some other birthday stuff. And then you're gonna back them. So I am gonna, you can back them in whatever color you want. I've got some yellow on there, so I'm actually gonna use my yellow backing. And then my blue. So the blue is terrestrial teal. I really like that as a blue. It's a nice blue shade. And then my sour apple. All right, so these I did just attach flat. Oh. Yeah, we're kind of in the front of our shop right now, and we don't, like, this area doesn't heat as well. And with the snow, and tomorrow it's gonna be super cold here. It's supposed to be like -30 wind chill with the wind chill. So good thing the class is, or no, that's on Saturday. I think it's only in the high negatives tomorrow. Anyways.
I got glue on the purple. How do you get it off?
You got glue
On the
on,
purple.
oh, it's really hard to get adhesive off the front of the mirror card, but I will sometimes take like my t-shirt, my cotton t-shirt, and I'll rub it. So if you try to use your finger, you'll just spread it. If anybody has any other hints of how to get adhesive off of mirror card, please share them with us right now. But I do usually just take an old t-shirt, you know, just a regular old t-shirt, and I will rub on the mirror card. And sometimes that will work depending on what adhesive it is.
Oops.
I think somebody did mention another method once, but I can't remember what that is. So I did pop the colored ones up onto the white. And then I did pop those up onto the card. And I'm gonna color mine later, because I didn't do my homework.
Busy sewing.
I'm sure you all did your homework. So, and then after that, you can put your gems on. Now, the gems that I gave you, they are attached in a row to go. They might be attached, because they do come in rows, so I'm not sure. You might have to snip them apart. I just don't know which way your rows were going, depending on who cut them. So go ahead and you can attach your gems also. So that brings us to the end of our birthday card. And see the background, you just see little bits of it. So, and I'm not going to put my gems on. Not right now anyways. So that is, oops, that's our birthday card. So we're going to set that one aside. We'll go on to a less technique-y one now.
Is it snowing where everybody is? Oh, no, not in Florida. I heard it was 40 in Florida.
Let's go on to our heart card. Okay, so we're gonna open up that kit. This one's, again, just a more assembly kit. So it's building up our hearts. Now this paper, this is our lava paper. It kind of looks like the holographic because there is a lava holographic also, but with the lava holographic you have more color to it, and it's really it's a lot shinier. So this is the silver Miri lava. You can go ahead and attach that to your card front. Well, let's see on the inside. Oh, on the inside of this one we just put a layer. So you don't always have to put a text insert on the inside. You can use the Slimline layers pre-cut as an insert on the inside. So we'll go ahead and attach that first. And that's just our Slimline pre-cut layer. Just makes a nice inside card. Now sometimes if I'm going to do a little a gift card on the inside, I'll take our little, and I should have brought one up here, I'll take our little gift card envelopes and I'll seal it and I'll cut it in half and I'll just put a little envelope right there as a little pocket to hold a gift card in. That's a really good idea. So then your gift card isn't like floating in there and you're not attaching it into the card. You can just take the envelope, seal it, snip it off, and then attach that. And that's a little pocket for your, then you can put a little saying on there too.
That's a good idea.
So we're gonna just attach our layers. And again, this is our silver Miri lava. And then go ahead and attach your overlay. Now this overlay, I know I probably tape a lot faster than some of you, so I try to fill it in. The overlay, this is our triple scallop circle overlay for the Slimlines. I didn't do a whole lot with them last year, but they come in the solid white. They come in the festive variety, which is the blue raspberry, sour apple, orange fizz, grape jelly, and raspberry. Or they come in a bulk variety, which I think there's 10 colors in that, excluding white, and it's 5 each of the 10 colors, and that's a 50 count variety. So yeah, and there's the straight circles too. So I didn't do a whole lot with them last year, and I'm like, I need to use those. So this one we did pre-stamp with an Impression Obsession stamp. So go ahead and put tape on the back of that.
Christy says she's late for class. She apologizes.
No worries, Christy. It'll be saved here. I also save all my videos on YouTube too. So if you ever need to look back, if you follow me on YouTube, you'll just get notified when they're posted. And it's just a good reference for a lot of our die cut type cards. If you need a tutorial or when they're on YouTube, you can start and stop me. Now I did cover up this middle one, so I used foam tape. Now with the mirror card, when you die cut it, sometimes you get little like stringy things because the mirror card is actually a plastic on top of paper. So sometimes I'll take my fingernail and I'll just go around the edge of it, and that just, gets gets it nice and clean. Or you could always use, the edge of a scissors around it. But yeah, I just normally take my fingernail and that just gets off any of that stringy stuff that you get sometimes when you die cut mirror card. And that's just the product of what it is. So I did use foam tape on the back of here. So I think I am going to do, I did class on Thursday night for 2 reasons. One of a Kind is having an event on Saturday, and I didn't want to go on to their event. And also my daughter-in-law, our son and our daughter-in-law are pregnant with our first grandchild. So it's a baby shower, and there's some people coming in person, and then it's virtual too. So we've been getting ready for that, but I've got that going on Saturday. But I think classes are going to be on Saturdays. Or if anybody has a comment on that and they prefer it a different time, let me know. But Saturdays just tend to work good because I don't want to keep my mom here all hours of the night on a weeknight after she's here during the day. Anyways, so go ahead, and you might have weeded, is it weeded or weed? Weeded out your words. You make me smile. So if you did that already, you still might be attaching your layers. If you're not attaching your layers and you're just watching me weed, you can pull your little hearts out, and there should be 7 of them in there. And you can start assembling your hearts. Now I did pop up like my top layers. The other ones I put flat. So my top hearts are popped up. The other ones are flat. So go ahead, and if you're ahead of me, go ahead and start working with your hearts. Now, when I was putting these together, I had a bazillion hearts because I couldn't decide what to do. So that was another case where I should have just said, what I started with was probably great, but then I just got kind of wishy-washy around about it, and I made a million hearts until I put them together, probably the same way I put them together the first time. But I think Becky, when she was die cutting, she gave you exactly the hearts that I have. But, you know, when you're dealing with a bunch of little hearts and they're close in size, they could be a little off. So if you are missing a heart, or you need it to be, you know, you're missing something that doesn't go together, let me know. But I think she got them all right. But you never know when you're doing, you know, a bunch of them. So I'm poking out my A's. So then I've got my You Make Me Smile. Again, be very careful when you're gluing on mirror card, and I should have said this before. If you're using a wet glue, go very light on the glue, because if you stick it down and then pull it back up, it's hard to get that glue off of there. And if it spreads out from underneath your words, then it just makes a smeary mess. So really, the micro dot adhesive is like one of the best things for this. Or if you do have gloppy glue on there, you know, take your scrap paper and dab it off on a scrap paper before going on to your project, because you don't want excess glue with your mirror card. But that's why I prefer to use the micro dot adhesive, because then you just get the little dots on the back of there and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about the wet adhesive. Sometimes I do use spray adhesive though too. Now sometimes it's hard for me to remember where I took the dots off. I can tell that I used a lot right there. So, you know, maybe you wanna, and this is probably would have been a good idea for me, if I would have like kind of marked the corner that I started with, and then I would know, you know, to work my way that way. Like if I put a little line where I started in this corner. But it's after the fact. I'm just going to use it until it stops picking up dots. It does kind of stick on there, so just be gentle when you're pulling your words off. So the micro dot adhesive sheets, I think, is under Paper Basics on our website, and then under Accessories. So there's the You Make Me Smile, and then you're going to build your hearts. Becky found these cute little bags to put them in. They fit perfect. I think she even put them in the bag in the order they get layered.
All of the products at Paper Cut,
Yeah, all of the paper products are from us. All of the stamps are from, the stamps and the dies, like the You Make Me Smile die is Impression Obsession. This heart set is one of our dies. The Celebrate is one of our dies. On your instruction sheets, it tells you exactly who the products are from. If I used Impression Obsession or Rubbernecker, it'll tell you where they're from and usually their product number. So if you go to their website, then you can easily find that item.
What is the die cut smile, Sarah?
This one, You Make Me Smile, that's from Impression Obsession.
Okay.
Yep.
Will you be showing more slimlines?
I'm sure I'll be doing more Slimlines. I just don't know exactly when. I know we'll be doing a guy class coming up. I know I am making some Slimline dies that are like whole borders. We've got a lot of like borders for the A2 size, so I do have some coming that are for the Slimlines. So you could use your Slimline layers to cut those. But yeah, we'll have some new dies coming up and some new mini Slimline dies. So I really haven't used the mini Slimlines a whole lot or the mini Slimline trifolds. I haven't used those at all. So I will be using some of those. Oh, smart. Don't put all your layers on and then try to put adhesive on the back. It's very difficult to do. So I'm going to struggle with this right now because it's when you're going over bulky foam tape, it's really hard to get adhesive on the back of there with like the big tape guns. I should know better than that.
Christy's been seeing patients since 6:30 this morning. A long day, too many masks and shields. So nice to start her evening with this. Thank you for all you do, Christy.
Oh, thank you, Christy, and welcome. Glad you get some downtime. And thank you for working in the hospital, because I think that's what
Yeah.
you work in a hospital, so that's awesome. We
So
appreciate
she
that.
says mini slimline. Does she not know what that is?
Oh, well, one of the cards we're doing is a mini Slimline, so
Okay.
we'll do that one next.
Okay.
So anyways, there's the You Make Me Smile. And it just because it's got hearts on it doesn't mean it has to be Valentine's, or you could use it for Valentine's, or if you don't like, if the hearts scream Valentine's to you, you could put flowers there or something else, because just the You Make Me Smile could be a sentiment for anything or anybody, anytime. So let's put that one aside. And let's go on to the llama. So this one is a mini Slimline card. And this one does have a mask on it. And if you are just so sick of COVID that you don't want to put the mask on it, don't put the mask on it. That's perfectly up to you, because the llama is just cute in himself. He's just super cute. But be careful. When you take your pieces out of here, there are little pieces. My mom was die cutting those, and she's like, they're going to lose these little pieces. So just be really careful when you pull them out. But the mini Slimline card. So a mini Slimline card is 6 inches. It's the same 3.5, but it's only 6 inches long. Okay, so we have those, and their brand, well, we had them on our website in white for a while, and then we put the Fossil and the Wild Cherry on there. Now just today I also put the festive colors on there. The festive colors are these are your festive colors. And I don't know if you can see this. They're pink. Let's see how high I can get. They're pink, purple, blue raspberry, sour apple, and orange fizz. Those are the festive colors. So those are on the website. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that or not, but let's try something else.
Yeah, we could see it.
Okay. So the festive colors are this blue raspberry, jelly bean, no, blue raspberry, grape jelly, razzleberry, sour apple, and orange fizz. So these are your festive variety colors. Whenever you get a pack and it says festive variety, grape jelly, blue raspberry, razzleberry, orange fizz, sour apple. So those were just put on our website today in the mini Slimline, and you can get them as a variety or you can get them as a solid color.
Are there matching sized envelopes for a mini Slimline?
In the mini Slimline, we only have 3 envelopes right now. We have white, wild cherry, which this is wild cherry, and then there is one called craft. Now this is our fossil, and the craft envelopes are just a hair darker than the fossil. There isn't an exact match. So in the mini Slimline right now, there's only the 3 colors. So anyways, for this one, we can go ahead and attach our layers first because none of these get raised up. So it is our fossil card. Now this one is a really neat paper. It's called So Silk, and it feels really silky, and it's available in 6 colors. And that I just put on our website today in a variety pack. So this is So Silk Glamour Green. I've used like the purple before, and probably the absinthe, or the, what is it, Chalking Green. Anyways, so these are the So Silk. It's actually a 130-pound paper, and it feels really soft and silky. It die cuts really well too, even though it's 130 pound. Doesn't quite feel 130 pound. I think because of the paper process that it goes through with the metallic and the sheen, it feels a little bit lighter than 130, but it is 130. So you can go ahead and attach that. This is our Grocer Craft. And then we have our reptile. So there's where we're using another one of the embossed metallics. I have little paper sniblets. So we can just go ahead and attach those layers. Get that out of the way. And again, that's our reptile. That is on the sale page as a solid package. Otherwise, it's on the sale page with the Recio and I believe the laser as a half sheet package. It's on the last page of the sale page. Otherwise, there's a folder that says mirror cards and metallics. It's in that too. So now, carefully pull out your llama and your Miss You. We are gonna weed out our Miss You. See how nice that paper die cuts? It's just really pretty. I'm not going to attach my Miss You until we get our llama on there, but we're going to give our llama a little bit of color. I'm just going to kind of set my Miss You on there just to kind of see where it's going to sit. Okay, now our llama, and I left most of my pieces in there. I did have, oh, here we go. Medium brown ink pad with either a sponge, like a Q-tip, if you have, like, I can't find them right now, little applicators like this with little sponges on the end. This is more of like a cotton ball, so it's a little bit harder than I like. So I'm in search of like little applicators like this with the sponge, because those would work really good. This is a little bit big, but this would work too. Actually, I think I might, or if you have like a mini or a detail blending brush. I don't think I have a detail one up here in my stamp area. This is kind of a medium one. So I just put some different blending brush sets on my website. I used to have the complete set. Now there's a large set and a medium set on the website on the accessory page. So the large set, I believe, has these two, and then the medium has this one and then two smaller. So anyways, I'm using like a medium brown ink pad, and again, you can use a sponge, a Q-tip, however you want, and I just am adding some color around the edge of the llama. So when I did it with my little sponge, I did just kind of go in circular motion around there. That's how I did my original sample. But a little sponge instead of like this Q-tip applicator would be much better. And you can add as much or as little color as you want to his edges.
Christy says, as much as she sees too many masks all day long, she would add the mask to the llama with the words "miss you." Be perfect to send to her crafting friends who she hasn't seen for 8 months.
Yeah, it's been hard not seeing people for so long. But I can tell you that there are going to be some shows starting up, and we're just not jumping back into on the bandwagon full force. So we're going to ease into it. I don't know exactly when our first show will be. I know I think there's one this weekend. And yeah, I'm just not comfortable going to in-person shows yet. So I don't know when I will be. So we're going to kind of play that by ear. So, and it's everybody's choice on what they, what they're comfortable with. So we're going to keep going virtual for a little while. So I hope you guys are okay with that. So I just added some color around my llama. And then you can pull out your little pieces. Again, have either a clean work surface or a little bowl. We have our mask. We have our llama face. This little square in here, or this little rectangle, that's his nose. And then we have the two ears. It's going to take some little glue to attach them. I do like to use my glue pen. Now your nose, you can either dip that in your brown ink pad, or if you have a brown marker, which I do not have a brown marker up here. A tweezers might be handy at this point in time, but I don't know where that is either.
Okay.
So and if you happen to lose your little brown nose, you could take a piece of brown cardstock and just kind of mount it behind there. That would work too. Oh, you know what? I didn't even put the card down here. Here's the card. This llama's not totally wearing his mask properly, but I did want you to see the little brown nose behind there. So we're just going to put his face on.
People are loving the virtual.
Well, we're going to keep at it. Oh, I got it. Now he's got a dirty face.
Clearwater, Florida next weekend, only 2 classes plus the Friday night 3-hour make and take it.
Yeah. Is anybody going
Stay
to Florida? We won't be there.
No.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, my little llama's face is dirty. Well, maybe he was like digging in some dirt outside or something. Yeah, if you're going to Florida, stay safe. Okay. Then the ears. Now your eyeballs that you got are bigger than on my sample. That's the only size black I had. So if you have smaller eyeballs or smaller pearls that you want to use, go ahead and, you know, pull from your own stash. I just didn't have the smaller ones. Yeah, I should have put that on my class list. Tweezers, because yeah, they'd be really handy right now. Okay, now I've seen the scarf on him different ways. I've seen with the little thing tassels going out the side. I've seen it with the tassels going down to the bottom. So whatever you want to do with your scarf. And then I did end up popping this guy all the way up on foam tape. If you're going to use the mask, you're going to need to trim it off because his ears are way up here. So the mask kind of doesn't work for that. But go ahead and, you know, trim your mask a little bit. And if you just want to use your fingers and pop that out a little bit. Oh, your battery's low. We've got another laptop up here, our just-in-case laptop, that the computer, it was just singing because the battery went low. So put your mask on, put your
Want me to get that
scarf
plug in
on.
for it, or you keep?
What?
Do you want me to get the power?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't need it. And yeah, wherever you want to put the little tassels, the end of the scarf is. And then I did pop him up. Now I lost, oh no, I was going to say I lost my eyeballs, but I didn't. I found them. So this is the mini Slimline card. I did put him up closer to the top. Put your eyeballs on there. I might have to get out a baby wipe and clean my hands before moving on. Okay, and then we're going to go on to the Miss You.
The eyeballs work just great, don't they?
Yep, they're a little bit bigger than my original ones, but they're still fine. I'm going to put both my Miss You on there at the same time.
Like those eyes, they pop out. I agree, they work good on my remote too.
All right, so there's the Llama Miss You card.
We like the larger eyes.
Oh, good. Glad you like them. All right, moving on to our last but not least card. Except I'm gonna get a paper or a baby wipe really quick. My hands are getting a little sticky. So now this last card is our bunny card. And let's see, where's my sample? There's my bunny sample. Okay, so this card was the one that I didn't even post anywhere, so you didn't even see it when you signed up for class. Again, this one, it maybe screams Easter, but it's also just because giving it to somebody to make them feel special. So the bunnies are just cute. Question?
Are there any Slimline embossing folders?
You know what? I have not seen any Slimline embossing folders. So if somebody has them, I do not know about them. And that's the one thing with going to the shows. Sometimes I see stuff, you know, that I see stuff out there, and which I don't get too much time to peruse around and, you know, look for stuff online. So I have not seen any. If anybody has seen any Slimline embossing folders, definitely let the group know.
Sherry Watkins just found this video. Are there still kits available, Sarah?
I do not have any kits available. Sorry. So I'm going to start doing more kits. I'm going to up my kit number for the next class. So hopefully I can have some left over to sell like during and after the class. So I apologize. I did run out of kits. So let's go on to our last card. Can't even get this one open. Oh, there it is. This one's sealed. This one they had on high security. Now this one, this die cut is our scallop circle frame die that we used at a craft along. I'm trying to get it, so.
Somebody says Sue Wilson has some coming out soon. That must be that folder.
Oh, Sue Wilson has
Something
Slimline
coming out
embossing
soon.
folders. Okay, so this is a craft along that we did during the winter that has this same scallop circle frame die.
Sarah, when is the next class date?
I do not have the exact date. Let me look at my thing. It's going to be like the beginning, because I'm going to do 2 events a month. I'm going to do 1 craft along a month and 1 class. So just because one month I did 3 things, like I did 3 craft alongs, and I thought I was just darn near going to lose my mind. So I will get my schedule. It's either going to be the 6th or the 13th of March, because I'm going to try and do the class in the beginning of the month, the craft along like the end of the month. So let me work on my schedule and get that posted online for you all. So anyways, your pieces in here, because you do have extra pieces in this kit too. So you have your little pieces, your bunnies, your scallop circle. You have a white non-metallic piece. Again, this one is for the inside. So your white non-metallic, attach that to the inside.
Kathy Dubenko just ordered 2. Kathy, are you talking about those folders? Mini?
No, I think she's talking about these kits.
Oh, okay.
I think. I'm not sure.
Okay. Thinking of from where there are multiple companies available that have them. So
Oh.
she must be talking about.
Okay, so there's multiple companies that have slimline embossing folders. I haven't seen them, so if anybody wants to say exactly what the companies are, you're welcome to post them, you know, in this feed so the other people can see them.
Yeah, people are asking where she bought.
So, anyways, other pieces. So our non-metallic piece we attached on the inside. This is our razzleberry. And then our other pieces, because you do have an extra piece. You have a white metallic that gets attached to the front of the card. Then you have a Cuba Libre metallic. So those we can attach to the front of the card right away. Get those out of the way. So go ahead, white metallic, attaches to the front of the card first.
Hi, Trish Bass from
Oh, hi Trish, you found us.
from balmy Arizona.
So this one just has a very thin border. This one I cut a little bit bigger than what our standard slimline layers are. So a very thin border around there. And then our Cuba Libre, then that attaches onto the white metallic. So go ahead and attach those and we'll get them out of the way before we go on to the rest of the pieces. All right, so now we have these 3 layers, which are strips, which the bottom one, the pink one, is cut to size, and then we have our pink mirror card, and then our Cuba Libre. So you do need to trim off. So we can attach these 3 pieces together, but the Cuba Libre you're going to trim. So go ahead and attach your pink mirror card to your rose quartz. I'm just going to talk about the rose quartz here for a minute, because one of the pieces of rose quartz is lightweight. So you have a piece of rose quartz circle, and you have a rose quartz strip. If you feel them both, the strip is the 105 pound. The circle is on our specials page. It's a 65 pound, which the 65 pound is only available, I think, in 4 colors, and it's on the specials page. Or it's under 65 pound Star Dream Metallics. So this one is our normal Star Dream Metallic. This one was a truckload special, and it's our 65 pound metallic, and you can feel the difference in those. So, and then there's another weight of the Star Dreams, which is text weight, which is even lighter than the 65 pound. So, just pointing that out to you. So we're going to finish this card, and we're going to wrap it up. I'm going a little bit longer than I normally
You're at a minute
do.
20, an hour and 25.
I know, usually I'm at about an hour, so I must be talking a lot today.
Okay.
Or going really slow. Getting back into the swing of things. So we have that strip, we can set that aside. Now you have 2 pieces of the crystal diamond print glitter, okay? One of the big one is your layer for the card. The little one is to practice or to set aside and use it on a different project if you don't want to practice. Okay, that's up to you. You can use this one, you can not use it. It's just extra. So I did use our blending brushes, and see how the ink is darker and then gets lighter. So it's darker underneath where the strip is and then gets lighter. So we're just going to practice this on this longer one. I put my thumb behind the brush head, circular motion to pick it up, and then circular motion to put it down. Okay, but instead of going total circular motion, I want the darker down the middle. So I kind of did like just a strip down the middle, and then as my ink, my brush is getting some off, I went towards the outside. So do the darker down the middle and then kind of just work it towards the outside.
Nancy Cloud wants to know how far we have to travel to get home.
We have about 15 minutes. It's about 8 miles, but so just kind of go a little bit, and I kind of did just this kind of swooping motion just to drag some of that ink towards the outside, because you want it darker and then just getting lighter towards the outside. Or if you mess it up, you can just do the whole thing tan. That's up to you. So it's darker in the middle, and then you're just kind of pushing the ink towards the outside.
Big piece or smaller piece? That's
The smaller piece is your practice piece,
yeah.
and then we're gonna move on to the big piece. Unless you don't want to practice, then you can just use that towards something else. So, and just imagine that your strip is gonna be covering near the bottom. Or if you want to go right down the middle, you can go down the middle. That's up to you. So I'm starting my, I'm putting my ink while it's juiciest right down where my strip is going to be. And then I can pull that ink out towards the outside. And I'm not even taking, like here I got my brush too far to the outside, so you can pick your brush up before it gets that far out. Or just do that in a couple areas.
Oh, Ronald found a website of video using regular embossing folders for Slimline cards.
Oh, nice.
She posted the link here.
Okay. Thank you. That helps everybody out, including me.
Yep.
So, and then just stop whenever you get to what you want. So remember, sometimes less is best. And we're wrapping it up here pretty soon. So then you're just going to assemble. So your crystal diamond print. And make sure you do the bottom, you know, whatever, because I had mine closer to the bottom. I almost put it on upside down. And then this is going to attach on there. And then I did not pop up this guy. So that guy I just put on there flat. But then I did pop up my circles. So I attached this one flat onto there, but I popped that up, and then I popped the You're Somebody Special up. So I just put tape on my pink, regular tape, attached it to my Cuba Libre. First I'm going to attach this down, which that I just used a dot roller or the micro dot adhesive or glue. And I attached that. This guy I popped up.
My strip is not sticking to the metallic. I've tried 2 types of adhesive. Got any advice?
I used the ATG tape. Works good. Just now I used this glue runner, which it's sticking okay, not great. What about what about like the the red line tape, if you have that? I didn't put my circle on there very straight, did I? I don't know if I can pull it off. I can. Foam tape, if you're struggling getting that on there, foam tape usually sticks to everything. So you could try foam tape.
Tammy Moore says she uses wet glue.
Okay.
And people are saying red line is a great idea.
Yeah, red line is pretty sticky. So I did pop up the You Are Somebody Special. And then I did pop up my bunnies too. Now, everybody doesn't have all of the same bunnies. You all have a hopping bunny, you all have a sitting down bunny, and you all have a standing up bunny. And I made sure that everybody got at least an opposite one. And you have 4, just to make sure. If you don't like 3 of them, substitute that 4th one in. So one of these bunnies is extra. You can go ahead and put it on the inside if you'd like, but we gave everybody an extra bunny, just so you could figure out some combination that worked for you. So that's what the extra bunny's about.
Love the bunnies. Yeah.
And I did pop the bunnies up with foam tape also.
Ron's going to think we got lost.
I know I told Ron that I'd be home at like 7:30, because usually my classes go an hour. We're running a little late today. I'm going to have to call him. He's probably halfway here looking for me. No, just kidding. He probably isn't. But he's probably calling the front shop phone saying, "Where are you?" Now, if you want to put, I didn't give you pearls for these eyes, but you could put eyes on there. You do have pearls to put around your circle. 14 go around the circle, and 1 goes on to your flower. Now, these you do need to cut apart in some way or another. They are one long strip. So I'm not going to spend the time to cut them apart and put them on. So
Is the bunny die from you?
the bunny die is from Impression Obsession. So yeah, mine,
So the bunnies are a set of die cuts, or are they individually sold?
the bunnies are a set of 3 die, actually, yeah, 3 dies. We just cut some with the paper facing up, and we cut some with the paper facing down. So that's how we got the bunnies going different directions. I'm leery to push on here with my dirty fingers. So that's our bunny card.
One of us has just got to tell time better, says Trish Bass. Central Standard Time is not Arizona time. It's the pit's getting old. Yeah.
So let me get our cards back out here. So I am going to say goodnight to you all. Thank you for joining me. It's good to be back teaching again. I will work on my schedule.
Your face is showing.
All right, here I am. So let me get my cards out, but I'm also going to show you an upcoming craft along that I have.
I'm going to put this on combo.
Okay, so upcoming craft along. And I forgot to bring the actual sample up here, but it is a triple tier slider card and another mini slimline card. This one comes pre-colored. So this one comes pre-colored because that's going to take the majority of the time is putting that one together. This one you're going to color on your own, and you might be assembling it on your own also, but you also get the gems in there to bling it up. This is February 20th at the One of a Kind virtual event, and I do have my little tag in there. Otherwise, it's on our website too on the event calendar. So this is coming up. So anyways, thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it, you taking your time out and crafting with me, and we will see you during the next class. Have a great night, guys. Bye.
And